Listen carefully. The world doesn't respect the weak. It ignores them. It walks over them. It forgets them. If you want to be seen, if you want to be taken seriously, you must become dangerous. Not dangerous to others, but dangerous to your old self. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. Most people spend their lives trying to be liked. They soften their voice. They lower their standards. They accept things they shouldn't accept. And slowly, they become invisible. Because being harmless might make you comfortable, but it will never make you respected. To become dangerous is not about hurting others. It's about discipline. It's about control. It's about becoming someone who does what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. A dangerous person wakes up early, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. A dangerous person keeps going when motivation is gone. They don't rely on feelings, they rely on standards. And that's the difference. The world is full of people who start things. Very few finish. Very few stay consistent. Very few push through discomfort. That's why most people stay average. And average is safe, but safe is crowded. If you want to stand out, you must separate yourself from comfort. You must train your mind to obey, not negotiate. Because every time you say, "I'll do it later," you're teaching yourself to be weak. And weakness compounds. It grows quietly until one day you realize you've built a life you don't even respect. Being dangerous means being in control. Control of your thoughts, control of your actions, control of your time. It means you don't react emotionally to everything. You don't need validation. You don't need approval. You move with purpose. You act with intention. And most importantly, you become unpredictable. Not in a chaotic way, but in a powerful way. People can't read you easily. They can't manipulate you. They can't distract you because you're locked in, focused, disciplined, relentless. That's what makes you dangerous. Not your words, not your appearance, but your consistency, your ability to execute day after day without needing applause. While others talk, you build. While others doubt, you improve. While others quit, you continue. And slowly, without noise, without attention, you become something they can't ignore. Think about this for a moment. How many times have you said you would change and didn't? How many times have you promised yourself that tomorrow would be different, that you would wake up earlier, that you would work harder, that you would finally take control? And then you didn't. That's where most people lose, not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack discipline. Because discipline is doing what you said you would do, even when it becomes uncomfortable. And discomfort is where growth lives. Most people run from it. They avoid it. They distract themselves from it. But a dangerous person embraces it. They understand that pain is temporary, but weakness becomes permanent if you keep choosing comfort. Every time you choose the easy option, you are reinforcing a weaker version of yourself. And over time, that becomes your identity. But the opposite is also true. Every time you push through resistance, every time you do what you don't feel like doing, you're building a strength. You're building control. You're becoming someone who can be trusted by yourself. And that is rare. Most people don't trust themselves. They say one thing and do another. They set goals and abandon them. They talk about success, but live in excuses. That's why they stay stuck, Because success is not about motivation. It's about standards. It's about deciding who you are and refusing to act below that level. A dangerous person has standards. They don't negotiate with weakness. They don't wait for the perfect mood. They don't ask, do I feel like it? They act because they decided. And once you reach that level, your life changes, not overnight, but inevitably, because consistency compounds day after day, action after action, choice after choice, until one day you look back and realize you're no longer the same person. You're a stronger, sharper, more focused, more in control. And that's when things start to shift. Opportunities appear, respect increases, results follow, not because you got lucky, but because you became dangerous enough to create your own outcomes. There is something else you need to understand. Becoming dangerous is not about intensity, it's about consistency. Anyone can be intense for a day. Anyone can wake up motivated, full of energy, ready to change everything, but very few people can show up when they are tired, when they are stressed, when they don't feel like it. That's where the real difference is made, because your life is not built in your best days. It's built in your worst ones, the days where no one is watching, the days where nothing feels rewarding, the days where quitting feels easier than continuing. A dangerous person doesn't rely on perfect conditions. They create progress in imperfect ones. They show up anyway, they execute anyway, they move forward anyway. And that's what separates them. Not talent, not intelligence, not luck, but discipline under pressure. Because pressure reveals who you really are. And most people break. They fall back into comfort, they look for distractions, they escape. But a dangerous person leans into it. They use it. They grow through it. They understand that pressure is not the enemy. It's the tool that sharpens them, the tool that builds resilience, the tool that transforms them into someone stronger. So when things get hard, when everything feels heavy, when your mind starts looking for excuses, remember this: that is your moment. That is your opportunity to separate yourself, to prove, not to others, but to yourself, that you are different, that you are capable, that you are in control. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're rewriting your identity. You're becoming someone new, someone more powerful, someone more focused, someone who doesn't stop. And once you become that person, there is no going back, because you've seen what you are capable of. And that changes everything. So understand this: becoming dangerous is not a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment, a commitment to discipline, to growth, to becoming better than you were yesterday. And most people will never do it because it's uncomfortable, because it's lonely, because it requires sacrifice. But that's exactly why it works. Because while they choose comfort, you choose growth. While they look for shortcuts, you build the foundation. While they wait for the perfect moment, you act every single day. No excuses, no validation, no noise, just progress. And one day, they will look at you and wonder how you did it. They will call you lucky. They will say you changed. But the truth is, you didn't change. You just became who you were supposed to be. So stay focused, stay disciplined, stay silent, and become someone they can't ignore.